What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Iron King Inc. YouTube channel. Today we're working on a 992D Caterpillar wheel loader 3412 twin turbo engine. Now, I picked this thing up from one of my local customers. They had this as a spare for one of their machines. They ended up selling the machine and I ended up picking up their spare engine. Supposedly this thing has 900 hours on it since it was last rebuilt. And unfortunately, I couldn't hear it run as it was already out of the machine. So we're gonna go ahead and try and get this thing fired up in the shop, hook all of our gauges up to it, make sure it's a nice, healthy motor, and then we can comfortably sell it on to someone else in need. So this is a 3412 DI twin turbo engine. Pretty cool little unit here. It already has all the exhaust set up on it. It has our fuel pump, our oil filters, our coolers are already set up on it. It's pretty much like a genset. This thing comes out in one big unit and then you just install the other one. There's a rebuild tag on this thing. It says from 2021. It's a little bit tough to see here, but Cat dealer rebuilt 2021 on there. So everything is seeming to add up with how fresh all these pipes look, how there's still paint on the exhaust. So I am in belief that this is probably a pretty low hour engine. So our main plan of action here is we are starting with the cooling system. We went over to Ace Hardware and we picked up PVC pipe, rubber couplers. Our goal is to put a garden hose in the bottom of the motor, pull the thermostats out of it, and run it through a tank. That way we're always getting clean, cool water running through this engine as we're starting it and testing it. Because we want to give it a good, probably 20-30 minutes of test running to make sure this is actually a good, healthy engine. Our next plan of action after that is to hook up our oil pressure gauges, batteries, stuff like that. But we have all that here at the shop, and we shouldn't have to make any more store runs for that stuff. You want to explain what we got going on here?
Yeah. So what we're doing is we're going to build us a Y system to go into a 500-gallon tote. We are going to come out of both of these are the exits of the water, and we're going to come out here to a Y, and then we're going to do a little turn down into 500-gallon tote. That way we can run this thing for a good half hour, 45 minutes. We'll have no problem with water storage or anything, and it'll all be contained.
Cool. I like the adapter setup. Where's that adapter that you made?
Oh, this one right here?
Yes, sir.
All right, so how did you do that?
I went to Ace Hardware. They didn't have any of the right size of anything, so I took a, well, whatever this is, I don't know what it's called, but then I took a 2.5 inch down to a 1 inch and then put a threaded insert on it, and this is going to screw right into the hose for the, and it's going to go down in here to this Fernco thing, like wah.
And a Fernco, so a Fernco is what?
A Fernco is for your toilets or any kind of wastewater, and it's basically, you can find it at Home Depot and all that stuff, but it is a thick rubber coupler basically, and you can get different sizes. You can go from 3 inch to 4 inch like we have here. They make all different sizes. They are great turbo boots if you're really cheap.
All right, so that's the main plan right now. We're gonna get that all done and then we'll start working on batteries, fuel, oil, all that stuff. So while those guys are over on the other side of the shop getting the water system figured out, I figured I would show you guys the gauges that we're gonna use on this engine. So these are actually our dyno gauges, but they'll work just fine for our purposes. So we have a complete assortment of gauges and adapter lines that we're gonna use. So Cat uses these really nice little quick coupler adapter lines. So we're gonna use probably a couple of these, one for our oil, one for our fuel pressure, and I'm gonna make sure that I pick the right one of the PSI gauges. So we have a whole bunch of different ones. A lot are for the super high pressure, but I'm sure we can find one that is a lower pressure, just like this one. So that's gonna be perfect for our oil pressure because it goes all the way up to 140 PSI, which hopefully we're way under that. Hopefully we're around that 70 PSI and under, 80 PSI and under, and that'll be a good, nice, healthy PSI for our oil pressure. So I'm gonna get back to helping those guys on the other side of the shop, and we'll get to it.
All right, dry fit.
So a lot of people, when they go and they test run engines, they don't hook up water to them, and that's really bad, especially for a wet liner engine. So when this thing is running, it's making small little vibrations, and a lot of the vibrations under normal operating conditions are dampened by the coolant system. If you don't have coolant in there, the liners are sonically vibrating as the pistons go up and down. So you really need some sort of water or something in an engine with wet liners to protect that dampening. So that's exactly why we're gonna put water on there, not just for running longevity purposes, but for the actual life of the engine. That's why we're putting water in this thing.
Turn it.
We're just gonna go ahead, we're gonna dry fit all these.
Yep. Yep, we're
Like
gonna
right
dry
there?
kind of fit everything.
Right there. We want to cut it long.
So we're gonna go a little long, and this side's gonna have to go up to meet it, but it'll go up, so that's not a problem. And then we're gonna come straight out of here with our 45 right down in our tub.
Now I also want to mention, we are pulling the thermostats out of this engine. So city water is usually, what did you say, Phil, it was city water pressure?
Anywhere from like 35 to 60 pounds.
Okay, so we definitely do not want 35 to 60 pounds of water pressure in our engine. So we're gonna pull the thermostats out so we have a constant flow and we're not building pressure in our coolant system. Because that would be pretty bad if we were putting that amount of pressure in this engine. So I want to say our max that we should see in a diesel engine is anywhere from 14 to 16 PSI. So we'll definitely be pulling the thermostats out for this test.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yeehaw! And any of the little leftover pieces or anything, this is exit. So, did I grab the wrong piece?
Yes.
Grab the
No,
wrong piece.
I don't think so.
Yep.
Did you?
Yeah, the other one's longer.
Oh.
Yeah,
All
any
right.
of the leftover burrs or anything are all gonna leave.
Is it, yeah, because it's
Into our
going this.
tote, because
Yep.
everything's coming out. So we'll try and get it a little clean, but not too worried about it.
So we have our system pretty much set up here. So our main flow is going to come from the bottom of the engine, and we're also doing this on purpose. We're filling the bottom to push all of the air out of all the heads, the block. That way there's no air pockets, and we have cavitations or overheating caused from that. So we're filling it, putting a garden hose right in here, and it's going to squirt right out the top into our big tote. Are we putting sealant on there?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. I like those welds. You really welded the crap out of that stand. Look at that. So I wanted to make sure that that stand was nice and hefty. So our plan of action for that was we have the stand at the bottom, the crane at the top. That way if we have a shutdown situation, a lockup, something bad, we have a way to stop the engine from rolling this way, rolling that way, falling off the stand, stuff like that. So I had Phil fab up the stand here. It's bolted in the bottom right there, comes over, and it is bolted on the back of the flywheel housing as well. So we shouldn't have any big problems like that. Hopefully it just runs the way it should. I think it will. I think it looks pretty fresh. Oil looks pretty good in it. I have good thoughts about it. Throw it down in the comment section if you think she's gonna run good or not.
Love it. Caterpillar and PVC glue.
It smells good. Smells like money.
Money, money, money. All right, so I'm gonna loosen these so we have a little easier time getting this together here. So we have some adaptability and some play in our lines if we loosen these a little bit. Now when you're doing this and you're working with a buddy, you always do your side first, so he has the harder time.
That'll work.
Yep.
Sweet. What's cool about this setup too is we can reuse this. So now that we have this tool made up, a lot of Caterpillar engines are set up this way where they have that big water inlet at the bottom and they have the two coming out from the top. So we can use this on V8 engines. I think the 3406s and 3300s do that as well. So we should be able to save this setup for a long time. I'm actually pretty excited about that. Then we can do a lot more testing in the future on other core engines, used engines, and rebuilt ones. Polk it down.
If you're ever worried about it, a little safety glue around the outside seals the deal.
And let's be honest here, it's not that bad.
No,
if
we're
it leaks,
leaking
it
anything,
is what
it's
it is.
water. Yeah, and we have a squeegee. We can easily push it out the door for tomorrow's 14-degree day.
I'm glad we're doing this inside.
Yes, much better. All right, so I kind of want to go get our tote ready so that we know how far to put our spigot out and what kind of, we're going to have to support something here on the tote because the weight of the water, there's going to be quite a bit of water in there. So we'll go try and find those things real quick.
Are any of these clean? Oh, dude, this one's empty.
Oh, nice.
Can we just use this one?
Yeah.
It had coolant in it before, and it's completely dry and empty on the inside. So why not?
Yeah. Perfect.
Perfect.
All right, so our 500 gallons is straight to 55.
Nothing wrong with that, though, I don't see.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's
either.
gonna fill up 55 gallons.
Well, we don't got to turn the spigot on full blast.
No, nope. We only
Well,
need to
it's-
have it just a little bit on.
It still takes quite a while.
Does it fit in the hole? I mean,
Well, shoot.
why not?
I need a 2-inch stubby piece out of that.
Okay. That's not dangerous at all.
No, I'm gonna hold this in. Okay, go again. Yay! Did you make sure it was the right size and it fit?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was just testing.
Test fit.
That's good. Oh, that's good. Oh, you did a great job.
Wouldn't want our angle wrong. Turn down for what?
Wait.
Yeah, see the glue's running out. It's perfect. Stuff it in there, big dog.
Perfect.
You know where we have a tote just in case you didn't want to use this? Or do you want to use this?
It's pretty good right
I
there.
think it'll
I
work
think
pretty
the
good.
tote
And
will
it's going to,
support the-
it is. The tote is going to support it.
I like it.
I think that'll work perfect. All right, so before we forget too, we need to find a board or something, 2 boards, just in case we have runaway or something along those lines. Hopefully we don't.
Okay.
But we need something to block off
shut it
the
off.
air. All right, so here's our setup for the block off plates. We got a big giant board right here, and that actually is gonna work out great because all we have to do is I hold down right here and someone else holds down right there, and that should block off all of our air if we have a runaway situation, which I don't think that we will. But it's always about safety, right? S-A-F-E-T-Y. All right, so we need to find a set of batteries now. We're hopefully gonna get a set of 4Ds or maybe some 8Ds if we have those laying around. And then a set of jumper cables, and then we're on to our fuel system. Did you find a set of batteries?
Yes, we have the batteries out of the D10 we parted out. They're over there on a pallet. He's gonna grab the forklift and another pallet so we don't have to carry them all the way over here.
Okay, cool. Probably that one. Well, where's our tester?
Over at the shop.
Oh, that's good.
I'll go get it.
Yeah, we'll run back, we'll grab our tester and see if we can find a set of charged batteries. I just had it. I think I should put it back. I know, right? I put a tool back in the designated area. Oh, fail, fail. Come on, meow. I did put it back in the designated area.
It's a surprise.
I know. Oh,
10.5.
not horrible. Could be worse.
We've seen worse around here.
Yeah, what about these?
I measured a battery this morning. It was one of those. You had 0.01
Oh, this one's good.
Nailed it. 12.38.
Okay, how about this big boy? Ooh.
5 is not good. Get more
Dude,
water.
11.3.
on that one.
I mean, that could be a whole lot worse.
It says okay on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this one's
12.
12 right here.
Boom. Winner.
All right, 12 and
Sweet.
12.
All right. You want to do the dual pick?
Yes, sir.
Love this palette she's mint.
Yeah, dude. Help me.
And then this one? I thought it was this one.
It's,
Oh, yeah, it is that one.
Yes.
we'll just balance it.
Jumper. Do we have a jumper around here?
The little jumpers.
Yes.
We're gonna need to find one.
There used to be one there.
There's half of one. We'll find one. Check the
Yes.
scrap bin.
Well, I think we'll run back over to the shop. I think I have a set of jumpers sitting over there in the shop. So let's bring those over and see if we got the stuff to actually make it work.
If not, we do have 4 non-running
Yeah, exactly.
956 and 950s that most likely have a jumper in them.
Probably. Jumper wire, jumper wire. No. All right, what's the plan?
Now this in here. There's a jumper cable in the back.
Yep, right there. Perfect. That's on that 966 that we just brought in. We're already starting to rub parts off of it.
Jumper secured.
Sweet. Hopefully it fits on those batteries. Throwing tools at me now?
Yep.
So flop that around because it's upside down. Yep, it's tapered. Yep.
So just go.
That one's too big, so flip that around. Yep, no. Like that. That's gonna go on there like that.
Okay.
And then that one goes over there. At least that's the thought, right?
Yeah, that should work.
Yeah, that'll work just fine. So these starters can be kind of confusing on how they work. On a cat starter, you have a positive wire right here, and you have a negative wire. That negative wire actually needs to be grounded out. So this positive wire goes to our batteries, and we have a jumper right here for our solenoid. That's how these starters work. I've spent hours trying to get one of these started and not figured that out. Learned that a few years back, so we shouldn't have any trouble getting the jump started if our batteries are good. So while Robert is getting our battery situation figured out, me and Phil here are gonna be getting the thermostats pulled out of this engine.
Don't want that.
Oh, that'd be bad, huh?
And jump off the belt.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Oh, she'll make it.
Oh yeah. It's going.
These are flying.
Okay.
Perfect. Now that should just pull right off.
Theoretically.
Yeah, she's gonna need some pry bar.
Pry bar action.
Perfect.
Do you think a little one's
Oh
gonna
yeah,
do it?
oh yeah, it'll bitty will do it. Yeah.
All right.
It's just the O-rings holding it on. There it goes.
Maybe
Hey,
it'll paint.
thermostat's down farther.
Yep. Yep, I figured. These three.
Yep. Okay, that's gonna be fun. That should be O-ring.
That what?
This one, back one.
Gasket.
It is a gasket?
Yep.
So what do you think, just silly?
Silicone.
Silly? A little bit of silly?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll clean it up when we make sure the engine's all good. We'll put new thermostats and new gaskets and everything right in there. Seal it up for the next guy to have all cat parts back in his cat engine.
Perfect. No silly.
No silly will be left for the customer.
Okay.
Today we're not wasting $40 in gaskets.
Especially if the motor's bad.
Yeah. No sense in any of that if that's the case.
Should just pull out. Well,
I
it's
don't
kinda
want
stuck
to
in
mess
there.
that gasket or that.
That should be O-ring. That's
Yeah, that's
definitely O-ring.
definitely O-ring down there.
There she
But
goes. Look at
just
that.
swiveled out of the way is fine for me.
All right, so here's where we're at. Both thermostats are out. We've sealed them back up. We have our water line hooked up. Batteries are ready to go. We also made sure there's a turbo line here because these turbos are actually water cooled. So you have your oil feed right here, water right here. Water runs down, comes out, and there's a little end here somewhere. It's hiding from me right now. Right here. So our water comes out right here, and then it's supposed to come down here with another line and loop back into the cooler right here. So we're gonna hook up a rubber line there, and then we're pretty much ready to rock and roll. And fuel, we gotta do fuel.
Fuel, yeah.
Fuel's not gonna be bad. We already have a
There's a fuel line already.
line right here. So my plan is we're gonna get a 5-gallon bucket, just drop that line. Oh, there's fuel in there. We're gonna drop that in the bucket,
Okay.
and then prime the system up, and we should have a running engine on our hands. That's the plan anyway. We're gonna get to it. Everyone, this is my grandfather. So how old are you now this year?
83 next month.
Okay. Well, he's here at the shop hanging out, and you say you're gonna get out of here, you're not gonna watch us run the engine?
Oh, I'll watch it when I'm outside.
Well, you can't see it from out there.
I'll peek around the corner.
Okay. He doesn't seem very optimistic, but I think we've got a pretty good engine on our hands, so I don't think we're gonna have any problems like that. You'll warm up to it, huh? Where's your safety glasses? Steel toe boots?
I left them. I forgot them. See, now I can't stay around here to see this.
Oh yeah, see, now he has to go.
Now
Dang
it
it.
has to go.
I guess my safety glasses aren't on either.
Oh, and you got a big board to cut out the...
Yeah, you like that? So when it
Oh,
takes
yeah.
off on you,
Yeah, that's
we
perfect.
can shut her down. Mm-hmm. Oh, you got the water line?
Let's see. Oh yeah.
Oh, It's like it was made for it.
Is that turned on?
Oh no.
Hold on.
There it goes.
Yep. Gotta give her the wiggle.
Besides that.
Bloop.
That's oil. Yeah, she's got some Earl in it still.
Okay, bucket, please.
You know what we should do? We should unhook that and blow it out with the blowgun.
Okay. Well, at least we can blow it out into there.
Yep, that's what I'm thinking. We just don't know we don't want to lubricate our cooling system. Right, Phil?
Yep.
Okay.
It actually keeps the rust from the iron, right? Because there's a lot of metallic in water, and it causes corrosion. And
So you're gonna want to oil
the
your
cast iron block, yeah, is then compromised.
Well, while those guys are getting that water line hooked up, blowing it out, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna grab all of our gauges for this thing. So I'm gonna start hooking them up and getting them ready to fire this engine up. All right, so I went and I grabbed both of our gauges. That's gonna be our oil pressure gauge, and we have our fuel pressure gauge right here. So we are gonna pull the belts off this engine. We figured it's gonna be safer that way if we pull the main crank belts off of it, pull the alternator off. That way we have minimum rotation mass of what we're messing with. So hopefully just a little bit safer when we're on this engine when we're walking around it.
All right, off of here. Off of here. Go ahead, buddy, let her up.
Perfect. That's a finger pincher, huh?
Yes, it is. It's a not so happy moment.
Cool.
4 belts.
And I think we'll just go ahead and we'll clip that alternator, and we'll clip,
Power to it?
yeah, nah, we'll just clip these right here. Just clip, be done, because we're gonna put new belts on it anyway when we go to resell it, if it's good. All right, so I have both of our gauges here. I'm gonna go ahead and hook up the oil pressure first, then we'll hook up our fuel pressure. I do need to change this fitting in order for it to work. I need to put a female end on here to get our fuel pressure correct. So our oil pressure goes right here. Nice reading there. Fuel pressure is gonna go here. But like I said, I do need to change that fitting because right now we have the same. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap these over, get that one on there. That should hold it. Okay, just like that. Perfect. And I want to say we should see anywhere from 10 to 15 psi, maybe even up to 20. So that should be a normal reading for fuel pressure. Find some diesel.
Yes, sir. 5 gallons of the finest we got. Oh yeah, all the way in there.
Yep. Now, if we look at that gauge, we should be able to pump it up, just like that.
Let's go.
Yep. No, that's fuel pressure. Okay, perfect. All right, it's even holding too. It's pretty sweet. So it had fuel in it. All right, next thing we gotta do, hook up our water line, put some batteries to it, see if she'll light off. All right, so I got a piece of just electrical wire. I'm gonna hook this up to our fuel pump, give us a little bit of a hand throttle so we can stand back a little bit safer. Can hook it around here.
Oh yeah, the double knot. El double. Oh yeah.
Just feed it this way. Okay, nice and tight. Okay, there's our fuel. That should. Vroom, 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 vroom. There you go. Now we can actuate it all the way back from here. So we can stay away from it just in case something happens. All right, so we made this contraption up earlier. We have our hose hooked up to it as well. We had a little bit of a frozen hose problem. It's been cold here lately, so we had to spend 20 minutes out there getting our hose unthawed. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and hook this guy up right here and just send her on home. Okay, that's really tight. Yeah. Now, let's go crack the hose and see if our contraption works. Oh, we got water.
I can hear it.
You hear it filling? Oh, we got some leakage. We got leakage.
I think we need to adjust where the hose clamp is.
Yeah, where the hose clamp is, or tighten it more.
Well, it's pretty tight.
I sent her all the way.
Did you go around this bead? Oh, I think we gotta go up higher.
Oh, okay.
I'll get from the water.
All right. I screwed up. I'm not good at anything. I gotta move this up. This section right here needs to go up into here and whoopsie. All right, our hose is readjusted. Hopefully that does better. I see a little bit of a leak, but not too crazy. Way better than it was before. Tiny, tiny little leak. Nothing like it was before. Manageable? No, manageable for sure. And we just watch our pipe. And if everything worked, if our whole contraption worked,
It should come
we
out
should
of
have
that
water
pipe.
coming out of here soon. All right, we finally got water coming out of our spigot on the top. So that means this engine is completely full of coolant. So we shouldn't have any overheating issues. Best part about using the city water is it's always at a temperature of like 35 to 50 degrees. This thing should never overheat. It should stay at the exact same temperature. So we should be able to run it for a pretty long while. So unfortunately, the only jumper cables that I could find are these super cheap China crappy Junko things. So we're gonna go ahead and melt these down, and we got them hooked up to the starter. All we need to do now is have our trigger wire right here and just give that positive, and we should have crankage. So we have our water on, we have our batteries hooked up. So I got us some cables here. That got a little sketchy, so we won't look at that little guy. But batteries are hooked up. I'm gonna crank it over with the fuel pump off to see if we can build some oil pressure first. So this is off. Yep, so we're off here. Water's on. We're not trickling out of here yet, but we were earlier. So we're gonna wait a little bit until it starts trickling out of there, and then we'll go ahead and we'll crank this thing over a little bit. All right, guys, we got water flowing out of here. We're gonna crank it with the fuel pump off and see if we can build some oil pressure. Okay, so it shuts off at the very end of the fuel pump. That's kind of weird. It fired up right away.
So we're coming up to 60 here.
Okay.
Didn't get a good look at this one, but this is the one that was oil, right?
Yep, that's oil.
We were coming up. We were coming up past 60.
Okay, here we go in 3, 2, 1. 80. that's how you test run an engine when you want it to run for a longer period of time. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna shut this thing down, probably wash it, paint it, get it ready for the next customer. Once we turn the video off, we're gonna run this thing for probably another hour, do some more tests on it, make sure it's a good, healthy motor, but from what I'm seeing, this thing's good to go. Shop's a little smoky. We'll open up some doors here. You know when your eyes water, it's good. All right, we're gonna wrap this up right here. As always, if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments or concerns about something that I did wrong possibly, throw it down in the comment section. As always, if you wanna see more stuff like that, subscribe to the channel because I do that stuff all the time. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.